Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. All right. So, I'm your host. I'm Secure Rights. I'm the host of the Be Your Own Hero show. Hero is an acronym. It means helping everyone reaps optimism. Reaps optimism. And what's the other definition for it? Oh, I can't quite get it. If you can think of it, remind me. Drop it in the chat. I can, it's right on the tip of my tongue. And I have it written down here, but my note system is going crazy today. I don't know what's going on, but it's not letting me keep my notes today. So let's go. Let's just go anyway. Okay, so shout out to New Thought Media Network for allowing me the space and opportunity to grow as a man recovering from a stroke. Man recovering from a stroke. This is month eight. Month eight, and I'm still going. I'm still going. I'm still pushing. I'm still pushing. And just a quick reminder, I'm not a personal trainer. I'm not a financial advisor. So if you want help, go out there and get help from someone. If I pique the little bit of curiosity in something, go chase it down. Chase it down. Because there's so much. There's so much to be learned here. And don't think because you're a certain age, you got nothing left to learn. Right? You've got plenty to learn. Plenty to learn. Okay, so let's see. What let me do this without my notes now, without my notes. All right, so let me do my dice roll challenge. Dice roll challenge. Dice roll challenge. Yesterday was 1. Let's go. Here's number 2. Oh, dice man coming. Dice man coming. Dice man coming. Dice man coming. 2. Number today is 2. That's nice. Sequentially. Yesterday was 1, today was 2. That's pretty cool. Okay, so remember we want to take the amount from our place where we usually hold our money. A usual checking account. A usual savings account. Move it out of those places and put it into some place where you can't touch it. And that place is a place that we use to invest. Use that money to invest. Because what everyone says is, I don't have enough money to invest. I don't have enough money to invest. I'm going to invest later. Don't do it. Invest now. Invest now while you've only got 50 cents to invest. Or you've only got, $5 to invest. Because when you've got $50,000 to invest, you won't know what to do. You won't know how to invest. There's no knowledge that comes with the amount of money. There's no. Oh, I was so good too. That was so good. Oh, let me see if I can get it again. I hope you heard it. Hope you heard it because that was a good one. That was a good one. But anyway, one more time. No, I can't get it. But it sounded good when it came out of my mouth. All right, so this is what happens with aphasia, which is a long, complicated way of saying that communication is sometimes difficult for me. Because I'll say something and I'll forget what I said right after I said it. But that doesn't happen all the time, though. It's strange. Sometimes it happens and sometimes it doesn't happen. So anyway, I hope you got it because that felt good, though. That felt good. All right, so now I'm going to check my followers, see if there's any comments, and then we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about today. All right, so let's see who we got here. All right, Feed King doing her girlfriend duty of inviting everybody in the world on Facebook to watch the show. Let's see. And she's inviting all these names. That's income. She got $2 on it, right? She got $2 on it. I'll put that up for a second. And okay. All right, so that's what we got. We got the $2 left. So if anybody checks in recently and you see that the number is $2, $2 right there, right there. Okay, so I want to talk about today because oh wait. Tim's saying his repetition helps with aphasia. Yeah. So let me sidebar a second with Tim. Because yeah, repetition helps with my aphasia because now I can say aphasia. Remember when I couldn't say aphasia and I kept mistaking that word for another word? But I kept on saying it. And now I can say aphasia easy. But it didn't start off as easy. It did not start off as easy. And I want you to remember with me the time very recently when I had to write down aphasia, and I had to look at my notes, and I had to keep on fighting. So repetition and having the same things to do every day, like doing this show every day, has helped me a lot. It's helped me tremendously. So anyway, thanks, Tim. I appreciate that. All right, so let's go to it. All right, so today is, let me add this to the chat, is Fit to be Led National Walking Day. Fit to be Led National Walking Day. So we, and when I say we, I'm talking about Black Men Run, we will be going over to Belmont College. It's a local music college, and talking to the students there about walking, about exercising, about how to get their bodies moving, how to keep their minds moving, right? And so I'm very excited because this is, an official speaking engagement. As you know, I'm counting these speeches that I give here as speaking engagements, which has helped me expand my mind tremendously in terms of how I think about my experience, period. My experience, period. So anyway, but I'm very happy to check out Fit to Lead National Walking Day. We're going over midday today, 2:00 in the afternoon, and yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to do a walk with the students. So yeah, it should be very interesting. Now, just this morning, I got a text message from Demetrius Short, who's running this thing, and he's got 3 questions that he intends to ask me. So what we're going to do is I want to answer those questions now. To give me practice, because like Tim and I said, it requires repetition. It requires much more repetition than usual. So I'm going to answer those questions today. All right. Now let me see what else we need to do. Oh, let me share before I get into my Fit to Lead Motivational National Walking Day. Let me give you the girlfriend share of videos. So this is last night's Uber Chronicles. So let me move that. Share this having said. Okay, I'm gonna take myself off, get for the full screen, and then I'm gonna get into these questions in just a second. All right, and here we go.
Uber Chronicles. All right, dear drivers, dear passengers, what happens when someone leaves an item in your car? It is your responsibility, Uber drivers, to return the item, to get the item returned. It is your responsibility, passengers, to reach out to your Uber driver, okay? So there's no hoarding people's possessions. And by the way, the charge for returning an item is $15, okay? That is what Uber pays out to an Uber driver for returning a wallet. Now, dear passengers, did you know that an Uber driver is not obligated to return your cell phone? They can choose to return a cell phone or a wallet or a left item to the Uber hub, right? So the Uber hub in the Uber hub in Baltimore City is located in Fells Point. I always return the items. There's been one time I didn't. I chose to return it to the Uber hub. That's a whole other story. That's a whole other Uber chronicle. I just had this lovely, lovely couple who were going out to do salsa dancing. They invited me. They even shared this group for me to join because I shared with them that I used to do salsa and cumbia in Houston. Because once I started speaking Spanish, hola, ¿cómo estás? Muy bien, ¿de dónde eres? They're like, oh my God, she speaks Spanish. I'm like, suave, mija, mijo, un poquito, very little. So his beautiful woman, I love that he said, we've been together for 13 years and she's still so beautiful to me. I was like, oh, that's so beautiful. Now listen, I've reached out through the app to let them know that they left their wallet. I will get it back to them. I'd like to do it tonight because I have a busy day of training clients. I have a couple massage clients tomorrow. Therefore, tomorrow's not a good day for me. So this needs to happen tonight. Again, let's recap. What is the protocol for a passenger when you leave an item in your Uber's car, right? It is your responsibility to contact the driver through the app and request that they return the item. Usually there's an exchange of telephone numbers. Drivers, what is your responsibility? Your responsibility is to not keep people's possessions. People don't leave their items in your car on purpose. It is an accident. It happens. You want to return it as soon as you can or take it to the hub. All right, Uber Chronicles, this is your girl, Free King. Peace. Uber Chronicle.
Okay, there we go. That's me sharing Uber Chronicles, the Uber Chronicles, which is coming soon to a viewing pleasure for yourself. But I am so excited about this. I'm so excited about these little trinkets we get to share with her about her Uber driving. So interesting. All right. So that said, I've changed. I'm hot in here. So I had to change, get rid of my suit jacket, turn the light off. But anyway, here we go. All right. So here's question number one. Tell us how you got into running, the Black Men Run, and your run streak. How long did you run at least 1 mile a day? Wow. Okay. So for those of you that don't know, for those of you that are new to me and new to this whole situation, you've got to understand that that when I started this was a joke. This was a joke. I started this in June of 2022. And I had only heard of a run streak from Black Men Run. I never even heard of it before. Like, what is a run streak? What is that, right? Well, it is running every day, usually outside, but typically every day, and that's it. Like, you commit yourself to a certain amount of time, and so I committed myself to run through the month of June because that's my birthday month. My birthday is June 24th, and so as my birthday came up, I was thinking, man, let me try this out because I'd heard about it through Black Men Run. They were talking about it. I met Antoine. Antoine, you've heard me talk about a lot. I think you've heard me talk a lot about him since the stroke, and definitely before the stroke. And I talked about him, and so when I met him, he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm on day 900." I was like, 900 days? And he was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Every day?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh my goodness!" So I hang around with some amazing people, So I decided I was going to do what he did for a very small piece of that. My idea was to run a mile, at least a mile every day for the month of June. So my goal was 30 miles. 30 miles. But then at the end of that 30 miles, I looked at my tally, 62 miles. I was like, 62 miles? 62 miles? How did that happen? How did that happen? Because I told you my goal was 30 miles. How did I end up with 62? And then something else kept happening, and something else kept happening, something else kept happening. And most notably, people started donating money to me, and I started donating that money through to someone else. I need to bring that back. I need to bring that back. Anyway, I am currently running my second run streak. So my first run streak, I lasted 409 days. What? Yeah, 409 days. I felt fine the day of my stroke. I felt fine. Everything was everything. Everything seemed normal. I don't know what happened other than the stroke happened. And now it's taken me several times. I don't want you to miss this. It's taken me several times to get there. Try, didn't make it. Try again, didn't make it. Try again, didn't make it. Try again, didn't make it. Now, this is my sixth time trying. 6 times. And now I'm doing it, though. I'm doing it from the first day of this year. I've run every day. I've walked some days, walked some of my route, but I have done it every day since the first day of May. So this is day 95. 95 of my second time. So my first goal is 910, 410. Because I just gotta try to beat the 409. Just try to beat the 409 days. I'm gonna try to beat that by one day. And just said 410 days. But I'm open to whatever life has for me. I'm open to whatever life has for me. I am moving forward, and I do it because it gives me a sense of pride. It gives me a sense of pride because dealing with these things that are enveloped in post-traumatic stress of dealing with a stroke there are a lot of things. I know I don't make it seem like there's a lot of things because I don't talk about it, but there are a lot of things that happen. And every time it gets rough for me, it's easy to reach back just to this morning to think about, well, at least I did my run. 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 And that builds me up. That builds me up. And so that's why. That's why. Okay, so all right. 409, P give me the 409 love. I appreciate you, P. I appreciate you. All right, so question number 2. After suffering a stroke in 2022, yes, 2022. 4 months later, you ran 26.2 miles in the New York City Marathon to break a Guinness World Record. How did you find the will and strength to do this? Oh, man. So I struggle with it because you make it seem like it's one thing, and it's not. It's not one thing. It's multiple things. I was already signed up for the marathon. Let's be clear about that. So when I was running up until day 409, I considered myself in training. I was, running longer, and I considered myself to be in training for a marathon. And so when I became aware, I have to be very careful with that because my awareness was not instantly returned to me. My awareness came back to me slowly, very slowly. And I started off with amnesia, and I didn't know the people around me that were there physically present when I woke up. And I was like, who are all these people? And I put the smile on my face because people think it's going to be difficult to have amnesia. I've seen it played many times by actors on TV. No, no, they've never had amnesia. Because if you've had amnesia, you are zen-like. You don't know anything. You don't remember anything. You don't remember any bills. You don't remember anything. You're just a completely blank slate. So I was like, hey, who are these people? Hey, look at these people around. you know? And so I knew that I was signed up for the marathon. That also did not come to me immediately. Did not come to me immediately. But different things filled in different times, right? And my sense of timing has been completely thrown off. I'm getting better. I'm getting better. But my sense of timing has been thrown off, especially in those early days. And I didn't know how much time passed. I thought the marathon was gone already. When I became aware of it, I was like, oh, wait a minute, wasn't I supposed to run in the marathon? I was. I wonder how long that's over. Oh, it's still coming up. It's still coming up. And then I was thinking, all right, I think I'm gonna do it. But my focus was very, I'll think about it. But then as I told certain people, I got more of that. Yeah, you need to hold on. You need to hold on. You need to wait. You need to wait until the next marathon. And the next marathon, and I was like, no, nah, I'm not doing it now. Now you told me that I need to do it. Now I got to do it. Now I have to force myself to do it. Right? I've got to force myself to get up and get into my Superman clothes, my Superman cloak, and really go for it. And having something, let me tell you this. This is important. Having something to focus on that's as big as a marathon. This was my first marathon. So having something as big to focus on the marathon helped organize not only my own efforts, but the efforts of everyone around me. Like it gave everyone a lightning rod. Everyone focused on the lightning rod. And good or bad, because some people focus on the lightning rod in a negative way. Like, oh, I don't know if Seiku's gonna make it. Yeah, but it was still the lightning rod. Like it was still separate from me. You know what I mean? It was still separate. And that energy was enough to help keep me going. And to do it for all the people who were watching me, all the people who've been watching me during my 409 days, my 409 days, all those people who were watching me, waiting to see what's going to happen, it felt good to help them, help them to do for them. And so that's how it happened. It was lots of different pieces put together that made me go for the for the marathon. And by the way, 4 months for a stroke seemed like a long time, because what do I know about strokes? I said 4 months. When I finally understood math, I was like, 4 months, that should be enough time, right? I knew I felt crazy. I knew all the training and everything was crazy, but I felt like 4 months, that ought to be enough time. No, it was not. It was not enough time. It was not enough time. But it has pushed me to do everything faster because I pushed myself to such a high goal. So, yeah. All right. And let's see. Last question. Oh, I got to keep this one quick. What can you share with our students about overcoming challenges and taking their health and wellness seriously? I think it's the same answer. Especially when you encounter something delicate, something that challenges you. You've got to set a goal that's higher than anything anybody would expect. Give people a lightning rod to focus their energy on. Give them a lightning rod to focus their energy on, and that will give you the energy to focus on something higher than you, something bigger than you. And I'm telling you, I don't know how to explain it. It's like it's just bigger. I can't understand it. Maybe I'll be able to understand it by 2 p.m. as I work towards work to lead. But that's what I feel. I feel like the lightning rod is separate from you, and if you can just keep focusing on that, it makes everything else easier. Everything else easier. You keep focusing on that one thing, like, oh, I don't feel like running today, but I got to run because I gotta get in shape for the marathon. You know, I don't feel like eating right today. Like, oh, I gotta drink my water today because I gotta drink enough water for the marathon. Like, there's something there pulling you. So yeah, I think that's real. That's real. My advice to everyone is if you if you encroach on something that's really life changing in terms of your health, then you've got to create an equally powerful good goal to be just as big. And after that, you have your life. You can do whatever you want. You can do more of that or not. But at first, the first thing you need to do is step forward. Step forward, not back. Everyone's going to tell you to fall back. Take it easy. Don't do that. Do not do that. You got to take forward. You got to go forward. Ashe. Because yeah, that got me. That got me. And dealing with the people who who didn't think I could do it. Seeing them now is a whole new game. They're like, wow, I don't believe that he did that 4 months after having a stroke. Haven't done that in my regular life with everything. I've got everything. I've got all my limbs. I got all my limbs, right? And I've never tried to do a marathon. And he just did a marathon, and he was 4 months off a stroke. Man, it changes conversations about you. All right. Let's see. Here's P King saying, epic. It wasn't quite 4 months. It was 3.5 months after your show. Yeah, I didn't even know. What the timing was really, but all I knew is I had to do it. And the more people told me I couldn't do it, the more that pushed me to try. And here I am. And they tried to put me in a wheelchair, and I didn't go for it. Ashe. This was good. I may have to answer these questions. Again. Even after the thing today, I have to answer these questions again. Oh, thanks, Nan. Yeah, and I didn't think of it that way. I think of it as it being inspiring, just me, like, focus. I got to focus on this one thing. I got to do this one thing, and it helped organize everything around me. Man, I'm going to have it together by 2 o'clock today. But I got it. So I've run out my time talking about this. So let me get out of here. join me here tomorrow, where I'll be talking about. I might be talking about the same thing. It was great having the questions written out and being able to respond to the questions. That was good. All right, so those of you that are in the Nashville area, I'll see you tonight. And those of you who are not in the Nashville area, you expect to hear about tomorrow. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Later.